Hi, my name is Veronica. I am a licensed counselor in the state of Maryland and Pennsylvania, and welcome to Talking with Veronica. So, I originally wanted to start this channel to focus on mental health and just education, but honestly, I procrastinated for over 2 years. So, I just decided to go for it. A few people, including my siblings, have been asking me how to do certain things, so I decided why not make a video explaining how to do them. I love breaking things down and hopefully making your life a little bit easier so we can all kind of grow, level up, and open new doors and get new opportunities together. So, in today's video, I'm going to be predominantly focusing on how to use PowerPoint. I'll be going over some of the basics. So, if you're brand new to it or you need a quick refresher, this is a great video to kind of start with. These tools are constantly updating and evolving, so I'll touch on a couple new features and mainly just focus on the core functionality on how to make like a stellar presentation. So we'll go over the simple tools, how to add slides, take away things, do some cool effects, and I'll walk through on how to do a demo, just like side by side so you can follow along, and it'll be like straight and to the point, everything you need in just one spot. So if this video helps, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It definitely supports this channel, especially since I'm starting out. So don't forget to hit the little bell below. That will notify you when there's new videos and new content. So without further ado, So first things first, you're going to want to make sure that you have Microsoft PowerPoint downloaded onto your computer. To do this, you would go and if it's already pre-installed on your computer when you buy it, great. A lot of times it's not. Go directly to their website, the Microsoft website. There's too many spams out there, so go directly to them and you can get their subscription. You can download it onto your computer or you can use it through their browser to get some of these features for free. A lot of times you need an account with them, so you would go through that. If you're installing it directly onto your computer, basically you would accept the terms, press install, it will run on your computer. You might have to restart your computer, and then it will populate somewhere on your computer, a lot of times in a folder called applications. Now, to start, we're going to go and look for, assuming that it's already installed on your computer, we're going to look for PowerPoint. So, if you're on an Apple or a Mac, you are going to go to the upper right-hand corner where there's a magnifying glass, and you're just going to click it and type Microsoft PowerPoint. If you are on a Windows computer, it will be in the bottom left-hand corner where it has the Windows application logo, and right there you're going to see that if you press it, it'll open up a little like block and it'll say the word search. You click that little white rectangle, you type in Microsoft, it will find it for you on your computer, and then you're good to go, and it will open up just like this. So if you haven't used Microsoft Microsoft PowerPoint before, it will open up just like this, where you can choose from all these different styles and designs to start your project on. And if you've opened Microsoft PowerPoint before, it'll show you recents. So it might look like this, where you can see all your old projects that you've done in the past. But for the sake of just this tutorial, we're going to just look at it this way. So go through, choose something that you like, if you want to do something new, pick one of them, and it'll already have the fonts picked out. It'll already have a couple different things already set up for you. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to pick a blank one and add a particular style once I've added all my information. So I click blank, go to the right hand corner and click create. So right now it's going to populate it for me, and now we see it right here. This is typically what you'll see when you open your PowerPoint. This is the project that you're working on. A lot of these text box you'll see have a perforated dotted gray line box. That is not something you typically see when you are presenting. It's just something there to help you with formatting. Before we get started, I always encourage people to auto save to the cloud. You can press that button here. It'll let you log into your account. It gives you space for free, so you can use it through them, or you can just use this save presentation button and press it, it will show you a chance to name this presentation. Name it something you know, something that it's about that you're going to be able to find on your computer, and you can save it anywhere. I always like saving to the desktop because I'm a visual person, so I'm going to have it called Presentation 2, and I'm going to press save, and it's going to go drop directly on my desktop, so when I log in, I don't have to go hunting for it. It's literally right there, straightforward, good to go. So if I move it right here, it's already populated there, so I don't have to go and look for it anywhere. It's just there. I like things that are convenient like that. That's just me. If you want to save it to a work folder or a school folder or this classroom name, go for it. A couple things that I wanted to point out other than the save that you're going to want to do repeatedly is if you wanted to increase the size of your working space, you can do so by pressing this dial to increase to the right or decrease to the left. I like to keep it around 100, but if you have like vision challenges and you need to see a bigger space, that's how you adjust it in the bottom right corner. Also, I encourage you to definitely use a laptop or a computer. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on a tablet. It's just easier because you see more on a computer. So, moving forward, up here you're going to see all these different tabs. They're somewhat in order. So like as you're finishing your project, you're going to want to change the transitions, add some animations, and if you wanted to record for work, a presentation, all those things are listed up in a sequential fashion. So another thing that I wanted to point out is while you're creating your presentation, if you wanted to add notes or reminders to yourself of what to say, you can add that right here at this bottom where it says click to add notes. When you're giving a presentation, it will not show this, which is very helpful if you wanted to kind of have a few things in the back of your mind. These are like your note cards. You don't want to necessarily have them on your presentation. You want to have them in hand. So, introduce myself. And as you see, I'm a terrible speller, which is great because a lot of times it'll highlight red and you can just simply edit it right there real quick. So the only thing I will say is sometimes it will mark names that are spelled correctly and it's being incorrectly. So if you go and spell check it and you automatically change it, it could give you a little bit of an issue there. So just make sure that you know that that's there so you don't end up getting rid of something that's important or changing somebody's name to be something different that it's not. So moving forward, I'm going to break down a few of the important things, options that you have up here. If you're doing a design, a lot of times it'll change the font. So let's say you wanted to change the style of your presentation and you chose something from that main screen, it will change your fonts. So if we go to your home page, that is something to keep in mind. Don't get married to a font if you're going to use a preset design. Moving forward, if you wanted to change the font, you would simply double click into your text box. You're going to write words. So I'm going to put about me, and I'm going to click into here and I'm going to put by Veronica because that is what I'm doing. If that looks good to me, I'm going to click into the box where it has the chat and I'm going to double click it, or I'm going to click it once and then drag my cursor to highlight it. And if I want to edit the font, I can go up to this font tabs right here, press this little arrow, and I can change it to be anything that I want it to be. If you're doing a professional presentation, you're going to want to make sure it's like Arial, Times New Roman. It doesn't have a lot of that fancy, hard to read style to it. So something to keep in mind. If it's for fun, go crazy, pick whatever you want, be happy, live your life. Another thing, if you wanted to increase the size of your font, you'd simply highlight it by clicking and dragging your cursor. You can do a left click, you can just press and hold and drag, and you would go up to this font button right here. This shows your size. So you press it, and then you can change any number you want, and it'll increase the size or decrease the size. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. I think that looks good. And we're looking good. if you wanted to change the orientation or the formatting of the location of your words, you'd go over here. You can adjust it to be left, you can adjust it to be right, or you can keep it in the center. I'm going to keep it in the center. Additionally, you can add numbers. If you wanted to do bullet points, you can as well. I'm not going to do any of that, so I'm going to leave that as is. You can add photos over here. If you wanted to add more text, you'd press the text box and you can draw out another box of where you want it, and you can just write into it. And then if you wanted to move it, you wouldn't click into the box. When you click into the box, you type. But if you wanted to just move the box for itself, you would click along the rim, and then you can drag it to be wherever you want. I don't like this box, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press the delete button, and it's gone. So that is helpful. The delete button is powerful in this. So if you created a new slide up in this new slide button right here, you'd press it, and now you have something new. You have your next page. Same thing. If you don't like this slide, you'd simply highlight the one that you want to delete, and you'd press the delete button, and it's gone. Oh my God, I just deleted something super important. What do I do? Well, first off, don't panic. We're going to go to this little button right here that says undo, and you're going to press it. And look, crisis averted. Don't panic. Let's say you made a mistake a few turns ago. You can go back to where you want to be, and it will it's like a way to go back in time, right? Or you can just redo everything and just press this button a couple times, and it'll take you all the way back to where you're at. So we are here. We're going to add a couple slides. So what I like to do is I just like to press the new slide button a few times to add slides. I'm going to go and add my information in here. So I'm going to type, I like dogs. I'll just say dogs. The next page, it might be dinosaurs. We're going to say music. And we're just going to input all the information. You kind of get the gist. Right now, get the content in, and then we can add the images and styles and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. All great things, right? And you have your different text boxes. If you want to add T-Rex, go for it. Music, I love Billy Joel. We're going to mark him down. And now we have our presentation pretty much dry bones. All the information's there. We added some cliff notes that we wanted to do. Maybe I wanted to remember that my favorite song from Billy Joel is So It Goes. And now I remember to say that during my presentation. We're here now, right? Looks good, but not really what we're going for if we're going for something professional. So I like to check it before I start adding things to it. So if you ever wanted to see your presentation as like a trial run, you would go down to the right-hand corner and you'd see this little box right here. This box, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. This box, like a TV with a line in it, it will open up a presentation mode. So now we're in presentation mode, right? You can move through your presentation a couple ways. First off, you can press the next button here. Or you can click anywhere on your PowerPoint, right? And it changes the slide. If you want to go back, you'd press the back button here. Another way to change the slide is by pressing the space button on your computer. Additional things to point out that can be helpful is you can add closed captions if you wanted to have subtitles below. And it does a lot of really cool things. And see right there, it already adds the words so that the people that are following along, if they have a hearing problem or like my husband has some challenges with regards to listening. I don't mean in the sense that he doesn't listen to me, like he actually has hearing stuff, although he doesn't listen to me. But going that aside, it has this option for you as well. So I'm going to turn that off for the sake of showing. We have this button right here that's a little pencil. If you wanted to draw on your presentation, you can literally be like driving points home and mark that down. In order to stop, you'd simply press it and you'd unclick the tool, and now you're no longer drawing on a slide. If you go back to this pencil button, you can also use a laser pointer. So when you're giving a presentation and you wanted your class to look over here or look over here, you can do that as well. To get rid of the laser pointer, you'd simply go back to the corner and unpress it. Boink, you're good to go. There's a little recorder if you want people to, I guess, record or not, if you wanted to have that option when you're giving your presentation. It's another feature. And few other things here as well. You can end your presentation short if something happens, bum, 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 and you need to close out. There you go. So pressing through, you can get through your entire presentation. You get to the end. If it's pitch black, just press the space bar. You can press discard because it'll have your closed captions in there. We don't need any of that right now because this is just an example. If you wanted to keep it, you would just press to save. Moving forward, once we're done that, now let's dress it up. We want to add photos to all of our slides. So we're going to click the slide that you want to add photos to, and you can either do so from two places. One, you can do it from the Home tab. It has a picture right here, and you can add another text box if you want to add more information. If it's a presentation, you're going to want to just keep it like a few brief sentences. Don't fill it up Don't fill it up with so much words that people are spending forever reading it, because you want them to focus on the actual lecture and presentation itself. So just a few things that will help drive home your points. Major topics, vocabulary words, important key events, and then you can go through and further explain with your lecture and kind of viewpoints as well. So you can add that in the text box. I'm going to add a photo. There's two ways to do it. You can click it. You can add photos that are on your computer. You can just press that and you'd look for it in your desktop and you would add it in. I like to use something called stock images, which are kind of free use images that Microsoft has. It comes with your package and you can go through and search through images. So if I'm looking for a picture of a dog, I will just type in the word dog, and then I can scroll down and find the actual images of a dog that I like. So, for example, which one's the cutest one? Oh, that's pretty cute. Oh, it's a dog and a cat. We're going to pick that one. So you click it, it shows a checkbox, and you press insert. It's going to drop it in randomly. It's never really where it should be, just saying. So I'm going to make sure the whole box is highlighted, and it kind of shows me that I can move it with this little plus with all these arrows, and now I just move it to where I want it to be. One thing that I like about this new update is it gives you a designer option where it shows you different things to include. So if you wanted it to be in the background, you wanted it to kind of have this cute little style, feel free to click it. If you don't like it, click a different one. I'm happy with this. I'll move to my next slide. Let's do it together, right? I want to do a photo. So I'm going to literally go up into Home and click Photo, or I can go to Insert and I can add graphs and stuff, or here's your pictures right here. It's in two different spots, which is easy for you to find. So I click Pictures, I'm going to do Stock Images, and then I'm going to do Dinosaur. And I'm going to pick the image of a dinosaur and Insert. Now keep in mind, if you're looking for something specific, they don't have every single image you can possibly think of. They just have some. So if I wanted a Velociraptor or a T-Rex, I might have to go online and find one and credit the source. But for now, these free images are getting it done for me. So I'm going to do that. I like this style right here, so I'm going to press it. And it looks pretty cool to me. Go to the next slide, Billy Joel. See how it automatically populated music, which is super awesome. You can choose something directly from there, or let's practice again, adding another insert for image. We can either go to Home and it's located right here, or we can go to Insert, we can go to Pictures, we go Stock Images, and boom, we can type in piano, right? But if I typed in Billy Joel, he probably is not going to pop up, right? because these are images that are free use, and some of those professional images required to be credited. So as a shortcut, I will write piano, if I can spell, piano. There we go. And then I look for something I like, and I randomly click it, and I press insert, and just like that, it's done. So our presentation's coming along. It's looking really good. Maybe not exactly the way that I want it, but you can change things around and move things around. If I wanted to move the text box, then I can do that. Overall, if I'm happy at this point, I can move to the next tab, which is design. I love this part because it kind of comes to life. You can create your own format. You can create your own stuff. I would encourage you to save time. Go through some of the stuff that they already made. Why reinvent the wheel? You can look through the designs they have by pressing this right button, or you can press this down button. It'll show you all of them. So look through, find something that feels like you feel like speaks to you. This is a really popular one. So I'm going to just click it. And just like that, it changed the PowerPoint from being okay to, all right, I like it. We are in business. If you notice, because we changed the style of it, it does look better. However, it did move some things around. So you might have to be mindful that you will have to click into not where the words are, but around the border of your text to drag wherever it is you want it to be. It also gives you some more options if you want your stuff to look a little different as well. Lots of cool features. If you're not a fan of the colors that they use, you can go right back up here and it gives you a few more options to choose from as well, right? So if you're not a fan of that, you can go through. There is no right or wrong option. The goal is just to look professional, classy, and engaging for your audience. Having an all-white PowerPoint presentation isn't really going to catch your audience. And if you're dealing with kids, students, or you're just trying to do a public speaking presentation, you're going to want something that looks like that's going to hold your audience. So we're going to add a little bit of that. And I'm happy with the way that it looks, so I'm going to remember to save. So by pressing the save button, it's going to automatically do what we did at the beginning and save it to my desktop because it's already done. Don't wait till the end to save. Save as you go. So in case you mess something up or lightning hits your computer and etc., things shut down, you have it saved and you have a place to, you didn't lose everything. So it's helpful that way. So now I'm happy with the way things look. If I want to once again preview what I have, I press this button, press the button all the way through, press the arrows to go forward and backwards if I choose to. Now I want to add a little extra flair to my presentation. It looks good, but let's take good and move to great. All right, so we go to transitions, and this is where the fun happens, at least for me, because not only do we have really cool content and information, we can go through and we can add really cool effects to change the change from slide to slide. So if you press this down button, it'll show you all of them. And I like to go slide by slide and pick something I like. You don't have to spend too much time on it. The goal is just to be engaging and not to take away from the information. So right here, origami is really cool, but it's also heck distracting. So pick something that isn't going to be super distracting, something that's sleek, clean, professional, and engaging. So you can do vortex. Sometimes people do that because it's quick and it looks really cool, right? So if I don't want a effect, I make sure I go back to the beginning and press none. If I do want an effect, I can randomly click through. And because I've selected it, it automatically applies. I don't have to go back and edit it. It's there. And then I press save. So real quick, I'm going to go through each slide and add something different to it. So it's already set at none. And I'm going to add the effect crush paper because I think that's cool. I'm going to go to the next slide. I'm going to highlight it red. I'm going to add page curl because it looks like a book. Same thing with the next slide. I'm going to go through and add all of these things. One thing to keep in mind, if you wanted an effect to go longer, take longer, you'd go to the time and you'd increase it. So let's preview real quick how it looks. Look how slow that moves now. If I wanted to move faster, I'd shrink the time back to a second and write real quick something that looks engaging, quick, professional, but it doesn't spend all day. One thing to keep in mind that I like to keep on mouse click active so that you don't have to press repeatedly the space bar to get the effect that you want. If you remove this, you're going to click each time. So you're going to have to click once to open it, once to change the slide, once for the transition, and you're going to press the space bar the whole time. Leave this alone unless you wanted to play around with it. There's really no need to. All right, finally, I'm going to add the last one, and that will be, now I have effects next to each individual slide, and we are in business, and it looks good. If it's a college presentation, always remember, cite your resources, use your reference page, do a reference page, references or works cited. Colleges are really cracking down to make sure that you're giving credit to the sources that you are taking. Just randomly wanted to throw that out there if you're working in that, like as a student. All right, moving forward, we're gonna go to the next tab, which is animations, right? Animations are a lot of fun. Notice how none of them are highlighted right now. It's because we haven't selected anything to animate, right? So let's say I want to make this photo do something special, right? Like maybe I want it to fly in, or I want it to kind of have stripes. We can simply press something and boom, just like that, we've added a animation, and it marks it on the corner of the image. So it shows you one. You can add multiple animations to something. Don't go crazy because then it's a pain in the butt. And I like to add my animations with my slides because I don't want to sit there and press the space bar over and over and over. So I'm going to click with previous. So when I switch my slide, it will automatically trigger the animation to take place. So we've selected animation, we press preview. We like the way it looks. We can go to the next image. Once again, it takes away your animations unless you have something clicked. If I want to add animation to words, I can do that as well. I simply click the text box and I choose fly in. Boom, right then and there, we've added something. It adds a little one to it, and you can make it go slower or faster, same thing here. And if you press on click, it just means you'll have to press the space bar to activate it. So I'm just going to click with previous. And we're going to go and we're going to make it take a little bit of time to come in so it's not as fast. I like that. So we've added some animations. Maybe the last one, I want to do something else. Grow and shrink. I don't like that, so we're not going to do it. Maybe I want it to spin. Play around with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to like it, and it's got to get the job done so that it's not distracting, but it still can kind of look cool, get people's attention, right? I like this little teeter one, so we're going to keep that. Now it has the one, that's one animation linked to that photo. If I want to have it linked to the photo, remember put with previous. And I can add it to text as well if I want to do fancy stuff. Now I'm going to preview what I've done so far. I'm going to go back to slide 1, and I'm going to press the preview button in the bottom right hand corner where it says slideshow, and I'm going to see what it looks like. That looks really cool to me. This is coming along real nice. I didn't have to press the space bar twice to get that animation to play. It just does it automatically. Same with this one. Right, nice and quick, just because we did that one little tweak. Does a teeter, and we get to the end, and we close out, and we press the space bar or the escape button to get back to this main thing. So now we've gone through home, we did insert, we played with draw, we did design, went through transitions, done animation, slideshow. This allows you to see everything that we've done. That's basically this button here. There's different ways you can view the work that you've done. right? You can go through and you can look at it like a book, and then just press the space bar to get through it. You can look at it like your individual slides. If you wanted to move something around, you can just drag and drop it to wherever you want it to be, right? See how the line moves and it changes where you want things to be, switches it around. Easy way to do it. Or you can go here and it kind of takes you back to this style. If you're a professor and you're giving feedback, you can add comments, or you can add information down here if they don't have anything listed. Helpful tool. Another thing, if you're recording for a presentation, you can go from the beginning and you can actually record yourself talking with the slides, and you can use that and share it with your students, or share it with your classmates, or share it with your coworkers even. And that can be all done from here. And kind of like what we talked about, where you can press the record from beginning and it'll actually like give you the chance to do that. See, get started. You're going to allow so that it lets you do that. You're going to say, let's get started. And you're going to go through, it shows you that presentation mode. Got it. And right here, not everyone can see this where it says introduce myself, right? Only you get a chance to see that. What they see is down here. They see the hard work that you've done with your slides. They might even be able to see you right here, which is helpful, right? So going through, right? Remember that section that we added where it had additional information that you wanted to remember, where we added in the note section? This is what you get to see, which is helpful. I would encourage you to look at the camera, because if you're looking at your screen and you have a big screen or you have separate screens, you're not going to be able to see everything. So try to find wherever it is and look at it while being natural. You can do a couple takes. You can press record. You can just do audio. You can do video, whatever fits your boat. You can do it all from here. I'm going to close out of this, and you would just kind of save it that way. All right, so you've pretty much gone through record. You've seen what it looks like, and then you can review your stuff. You can add accessibility add-ons and stuff like that. It will go through and mark how accessible and how easy it is to read and navigate your specific things. A lot of times you don't spend a lot of time on this, because typically, like, if you have a dark font with a white background, it's easy to read. But let's say if you wanted to make this bright neon yellow, you might get marked check reading order. You might get marked where it says like hard to read text on page 1. It'll show you that here. Can be helpful. And that's pretty much that. Saving as you go. And so now you have a really awesome PowerPoint. You can utilize that and be creative. Have fun with it. Like, don't spend too much time stressing about the small details. What's important is not only does it look professional, but what's more important is your information, your story, the stuff you want to share with other people in your audience, the knowledge that you're spreading. That is what is important, and that is what should take most of the time. So while all of this style looks really cool and we've added all these elements to it, ultimately you are what's important. So spend some time focusing and practicing how you want to present. I'll make a separate video on different things to incorporate when you're doing presentations, how to do all that good stuff. So if you found this video helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and it really helps. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I try to make it as engaging as possible. I know we went through a lot of information, but I hope that it helps you in some capacity, and you share it with someone who is new to PowerPoint and just needs a general breakdown real quick. All right, so I hope that you have a great day, and I look forward to learning with you in the next videos. All right, take care.